For generations, Britain has been taught a very specific story about itself. A story wrapped in ceremony, uniforms and tradition. A story that suggests dignity flows from bloodlines, that leadership is inherited, and that the nation's identity somehow lives inside a single, unelected family. This story has been repeated so often that questioning it is treated as sacrilege rather than curiosity. Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex did not invent that discomfort. They revealed it. And the fury that followed their decision to step away was never truly about protocol, titles, or tradition. It was about fear. Fear that once people see behind the curtain, they may never look at the monarchy the same way again. Because when you strip away the pageantry, what remains is not unity, but hierarchy. Not service, but expectation. Not protection, but silence. Harry was born into this system, but he was never truly protected by it. From the moment his mother died, under the glare of relentless media pressure, the lesson was clear. Survival within the institution requires emotional suppression. Pain is inconvenient, vulnerability is weakness, and public image always comes first. So when Harry fell in love with Meghan Sussex, a woman who valued openness, boundaries and self-worth, it was not surprising that tension followed. Meghan did not arrive quietly. She did not apologize for existing. She did not shrink herself to make others comfortable. And that alone disrupted a system that thrives on compliance. What followed was not subtle. The media narrative shifted almost immediately. Headlines became sharper. Criticism became personal, and dog whistles became louder. Meghan was framed as difficult, demanding and divisive labels that have historically been weaponized against women who refuse to conform. And Harry watched as the same machinery that destroyed his mother slowly turned its focus on his wife. The palace response? Silence. Not neutrality. Silence. And silence, in this context, was not passive. It was a decision to allow false narratives to grow, a decision to let cruelty masquerade as scrutiny, a decision to protect the institution at the expense of an individual's well-being. Harry did not imagine this. He recognized it. He lived it before. The difference this time was that he refused to stand by and watch it happen again. Walking away was not an act of rebellion. It was an act of survival. Yet somehow the narrative was flipped. Harry became ungrateful. Meghan became manipulative, and the institution that failed to protect them recast itself as the wounded party. That inversion alone reveals how deeply conditioned the public has been to sympathize upward rather than question power. The monarchy does not ask to be scrutinized. It asks to be admired. But admiration without accountability is dangerous. What Harry and Meghan did was radical in its simplicity. They told their truth. Not through leaks or anonymous briefings, but through direct human storytelling. They spoke about mental health, about isolation, about the cost of being silenced, and instead of listening, critics rushed to discredit. Why? Because if their experience is valid, then the myth of benevolence begins to crumble. Royal loyalists often insist the monarchy represents the best of British values, but values that require suffering to maintain appearances are not values worth preserving. And a system that cannot tolerate honest criticism without retaliation is not strong, it is brittle. Harry and Meghan exposed that brittleness. They also exposed something else: how deeply ordinary people have been conditioned to defend institutions that do not serve them. Many citizens are taught to feel pride in proximity to power, even when that power offers them nothing in return. The monarchy benefits from this psychology. It survives because people are encouraged to see hierarchy as heritage rather than inequality. But Harry and Meghan disrupted that illusion. By leaving, they showed that worth does not come from titles, that service does not require crowns, that dignity is not granted by institutions, it is inherent. And perhaps that is why their independence unsettles so many. Since stepping away, Harry and Meghan have not disappeared. They have not retreated into obscurity. They have built something new, something intentional. Their work focuses on mental health, community resilience, and global responsibility. It is quieter than royal spectacle, but far more substantive. There are no balcony appearances, no orchestrated deference, just action. Contrast that with an institution still clinging to symbolism while struggling to justify its relevance, still demanding respect without earning trust, still relying on nostalgia rather than progress. The irony is striking. The monarchy claims to embody stability, yet reacts defensively to transparency. It claims to represent unity, yet fractures families behind closed doors. It claims moral authority, yet avoids moral accountability. Harry and Meghan did not destroy the monarchy's image. The monarchy's response to them did. And history tends to be unkind to institutions that mistake silence for strength. What Harry ultimately chose was not exile, it was self-definition. He chose to be a husband before a symbol, a father before a figurehead, a human being before an heir. And Meghan chose herself. That choice alone challenges centuries of expectation. Because when people see that walking away from harm is possible, they begin to question why they were ever told endurance was noble. This is why their story matters beyond royalty. It is about power, autonomy, and the courage to reject narratives that no longer serve human dignity. Harry and Meghan are not perfect. They never claim to be. What they are is honest, and honesty is disruptive to systems built on silence. The monarchy will continue to exist, perhaps, but its authority over the public imagination has weakened. People are asking questions now, questions that were once dismissed as disloyal. And once those questions begin, there is no going back. If there is one lesson to take from Harry and Meghan's journey, it is this: tradition should never be more important than humanity. No institution, no matter how old or revered, deserves blind loyalty at the expense of mental health, dignity, and truth. Harry and Meghan Sussex chose honesty over illusion and autonomy over submission. And whether critics like it or not, that choice has resonated far beyond palace walls. If you believe conversations like this matter, if you believe power should be questioned, not worshipped, then you're in the right place. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts respectfully in the comments. Your engagement helps keep these discussions alive and visible. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can do so through Super Thanks. It genuinely helps the channel grow and allows us to keep producing thoughtful, independent content. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and most importantly, thank you for your support. We'll see you in the next one.